Hello, I'm Kim Snyder, the Director of Teacher and Principal Support at the Nebraska Department of Education. Thank you for joining my esteemed colleagues and me as we discuss one of the newly revised Nebraska Teacher and Principal Performance Standards. I'll have my colleagues introduce themselves now.
Hi, I'm Ellie Fields, and I'm a former student at Harvard Public Schools.
Hi, I'm Michelle Helt, a third grade teacher in South Sioux City and also the 2018 Nebraska Teacher of the Year.
Hi, I'm Charity Labrie. I'm a principal with Grand Island Public Schools.
Hi everyone, I'm Julie Downing. I'm a staff developer with ESU 13 in the Panhandle.
Hello everyone, my name is Mike Tion. I'm in the College of Education here at the University of Nebraska at Kearney.
Thanks everyone. These teacher and principal performance standards are the foundation of a larger educator effectiveness system that focuses on a shift in how Nebraska supports and develops teachers and principals to ensure each student has what they need at the right moment, at the right level, and with the right intensity. The standard to be discussed today in this video is the teacher standard of professionalism. And Mrs. Helt, since you're the teacher, I'll have you start sharing your perspective as I share my screen.
When I think of professionalism, I think of being a positive role model for students. Another component of professionalism is actively participating in seeking professional development while also staying current on relevant educational issues.
When I think of professionalism, I think of teachers who play positive and appropriate roles in my life and those who don't. When professionalism is missing, everyone in the learning environment is affected.
When I think of professionalism, I think of how I conduct myself and treat the school community with respect and honor. I think of understanding my value and impact on the school community and how my actions impact those around me.
Major components of professionalism are in the conduct, behavior, and attitude of the individual as they go about their work in their position and in living their life.
The standard reads, the teacher exhibits a commitment to professional ethics and the school's vision, mission, and goals, participates in professional growth opportunities to support student and self-learning, and contributes to the profession.
Indicator A says the teacher adheres to school policies, procedures, and regulations and models ethical behavior and integrity in accordance with the established standards of the district.
It is important that districts invest the time to communicate expectations of ethical behavior with their teachers and not just assume they are understood. This is especially critical for teachers just entering the career as they transition from student to teacher. Student teachers hear general expectations through their preparation experience, but alignment with district standards is critical.
It is important that teachers understand district expectations in regards to ethical behavior and meet those expectations both inside and outside of the school building. It must also be clearly understood that teachers are representing their school community to the highest standard of excellence as they serve their students. Much of a child's lifetime will be spent with their teachers. We know children of any age will tend to imitate the behavior they consistently see. That is why it is important teachers model behavior they want their students to emulate in their lives.
It is not always easy to be the role model you want to be for your students. At times, it can be easy to fall into complacency. It's easier to do what's always been done rather than lead the charge for change. It is easier to complain about situations with coworkers rather than acknowledge the problem and then seek solutions. It's easier to make excuses for lack of student growth or negative student behavior rather than looking deeper for the root cause. We must always think what is best for our students. Oftentimes, what is best for students isn't what is easy. We must hold ourselves to a high standard. Our students need and deserve to be surrounded by adults who model what is right.
Working in service to teachers, ESUs provide a level of professional development tailored to Nebraska districts, schools, and goals. Collaborating with leadership to ensure systems of support are in place for teachers to make sure we have the support we need to keep what's best for our students at the forefront.
Indicator B, the teacher develops and sustains productive and appropriate relationships through communication with students, colleagues, administration, families, and the larger community in an effort to support and enhance each student's academic success and well-being.
An important part of this indicator is having an open line of communication with families, focusing on growth when possible. One of the most difficult components of this indicator may be the ability to communicate effectively with parents. Language barriers and access to working technology, for example, a working phone line or internet connectivity may prove to be a barrier in communicating with families. It is in situations such as these that it is most important to seek alternate ways of communicating and not giving up until you are able to make contact. This takes time, patience, and at times creativity, but it is absolutely essential to help students grow and succeed. Maintaining healthy boundaries around student and family relationships is another essential component of this indicator. As a teacher, it is important to be available to support students and families. However, this should take place during a respected time for both teachers and family members.
A key takeaway from this standard is the importance of a united front within the school community. Tough conversations will always need to take place within the school setting, where two-way conversations are imperative to school improvement. A community of trust must exist in order for staff and administrators to create the best communication for their school. Once an agreed upon course of action is in place, it's imperative all members honor and uphold the common message. Holding the school vision and the cohesiveness of the school community should be valued. Families must be reassured that the school is a united front and will operate as such in the best interest of each student.
In Indicator C, the teacher actively pursues opportunities for professional growth and leadership development, both as an individual and as a member of a learning community.
Effective teachers will reflect on their teaching, recognize areas in need of growth, and seek out professional development to meet those needs. A teacher who is not willing to reflect on their teaching practices runs the risk of becoming stagnant and resistant to change, leading to an almost certain decline in student growth and achievement. Teachers who know better do better. That is the power of reflection and pursuing professional development. As educators, our job is to help our students learn. It seems only fitting that we too would seek to learn and grow alongside of them. Not only do effective teachers seek out professional development, they are also willing to share their new knowledge with others in their school community.
An important aspect of this indicator is seeking out intentional growth opportunities. Teachers must utilize high-leverage strategies that move them to the desired vision of education for each student. Taking advantage of the systems in place for collaboration is a key factor in achieving growth, resulting in student achievement. When high-leverage strategies are in place, learning will challenge each student in the learning community and provide opportunities for growth at the appropriate level needed. Students are able to work together to meet the learning standards at the level that is most challenging to them.
ESUs provide a personal connection to the districts they serve. Through regional contact, professional learning communities in district and regionally, needs assessments, and service. This level of service connects research, best practice, and local need in support of learning.
It is equally important to make sure that opportunities for collaboration exist for each teacher. Special attention must be given to teachers working in areas which they are the entire department to increase engagement. As everyone said, effective teachers. Indicator D, the teacher reflects on professional practices to support and improve student learning and maintains high expectations for self in lesson preparedness.
This indicator makes me think of a quote. Time in the classroom is like water in the desert, a precious commodity. Every minute counts with our students. It is so important we not only have a plan for how our time with students will look, but also high expectations and rigorous lessons prepared to best meet each child's needs and propel the learning of students forward.
Teachers must hold themselves accountable for creating an environment that promotes growth and high expectations, not only for their students, but also themselves. If teachers are unwilling to grow in the craft of teaching, it will be difficult for students to have advantages to grow themselves as learners. If teachers model the ways they grow as a professional, the environment will reflect the importance of growth, and students will meet the challenge. As a school community, principals and teachers must always be looking for ways to better serve students and families.
Teachers in schools continually evolve and grow in the pursuit of excellence. We share the responsibility of educating future generations of leaders that are performing at a higher level than at any time in history. As teachers, we are either growing or moving ahead or remaining stagnant and falling behind. Others are pushing towards excellence, and the students deserve the best you in every lesson. Time in a student's life is limited, and students will direct their attention elsewhere when involved in poor lessons, which result in lost learning opportunities.
Indicator E says, the teacher advocates for and contributes to the shared mission, vision, and continuous improvement of the school and professional community.
Although it does not always feel comfortable, it is so important for teachers to actively participate and lend their voice and perspective to the creation of the mission statement, vision, and continuous improvement plan for the school. As teachers, our voices are an indispensable part of the conversation as we bring different viewpoints and perspectives to the conversations.
Teachers' actions must be aligned to the school's mission, vision, and continuous improvement. Advocacy should center around actions that support those goals and benefit student learning. When words and actions are in alignment with the school's mission and vision, there is a clarity for all stakeholders, and individuals are able to see how their skills benefit the learning environment and support student learning.
Through leadership, support, and advocacy, ESUs work with schools to support their mission, vision, values, and goals. It is a unique and vital component to leverage best practice in a way that allows for local control and autonomy.
In Indicator F, the teacher collaborates to enhance culturally responsive interactions with students, families, colleagues, and the larger community to share responsibility for the growth of student learning, development, and achievement.
Once again, the importance of relationships with students and families cannot be stressed enough. These relationships will result in a feeling of being valued and respected. Educators are often looked to as experts in many fields: student development, instructional strategies, and classroom management, to name just a few. It is very important we do not make assumptions based on long-held ideals about any particular culture. Researching the cultural nuances of the students and families within our classrooms will reinforce the relationships we build with our students and their families. Actions speak louder than words. The simple act of asking questions and seeking understanding will demonstrate to our students and families our true intent and desire to do what is best for our student, their child.
An effective educator will seek out ways to recognize the unique background and experiences of each student and use this knowledge to engage students in maximizing their learning. Systems must be in place to provide time, a safe environment, a belief of vulnerability, and a willingness to improve. Teachers' classrooms and the entire school environment need to be free of judgment and focused on the process of growth.
Teaching candidates often come from similar demographic backgrounds with limited diversity within their ranks. While teachers look and sound like many of their students, the minority populations are not typically represented in the school faculty. Districts, buildings, and teachers must be strategic in their efforts to become culturally aware.
Indicator G states, the teacher communicates with and protects the established rights and confidentiality of students, families, colleagues, and the larger community.
The personal information of each student and family is just that, personal. We must make a safe space for parents to feel they can share information and also ask for help when needed. Maintaining confidentiality will strengthen the trust between parents and educators, resulting in powerful and supportive conversations.
As teachers care for their school community, it is important to communicate the common message about school events and happenings. When teachers deviate from common messages, it creates confusion. A unified message is imperative and must always be communicated through the lens of what is best for our students and honoring those in our care.
With great power comes great responsibility. We must protect the confidentiality of our students and teachers as we would expect our confidentiality to be protected.
I think professionalism is one of the most important standards because of the relationships that are being built. I feel like it is vital teachers build relationships with their students, but also maintaining a relationship that is appropriate. As I realize it may be difficult to involve parents and the community members at times, I do feel the students benefit when there is mutual cooperation. It is important for teachers to recognize the need to continue their own educational learning. Students today do not live in an environment that their parents or grandparents lived in. And whether or not we feel students are better or worse off because of this is irrelevant. The fact is, today, students need to learn how to adapt to a world in which they do and will be living in, instead of learning the ways of a world that no longer exists. Because of this, teachers also need to be continuously updating their learning as it applies to the present day. This could include, but is not limited to, modern day technology, a student-led classroom environment, and an environment where students can receive the care and compassion that many are not afforded at home. I feel in order for students to fully succeed in the classroom, teachers need to avoid stagnation and seek progress in their own professional learning.
Thank you again to my colleagues for sharing their perspectives. If you have any questions about this standard or any of the standards, please contact me with this email address. Thank you.